go ahead and get things started. My name's Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We are a marketing consultancy based in the Orlando area. And we look forward to having you work with us if you find the need for a full service marketing consultancy. We specialize in strategic marketing and communications. We have a particular specialty in executive coaching and workshops. Email marketing, social media, websites, all of those are things that we can handle or for you and your company. We're partners not only with Constant Contact, but also with Visita, with Microsoft, with ClickFunnels, with GoToWebinar, and several other companies as well. So whatever your marketing needs, you can count on us to help you. I'd encourage you, by the way, to check out our website. That's www.thecountessgroup.com. There's a screenshot of our homepage. We are unique in the marketing arena in that we help businesses really gain an unfair advantage over their competition with targeted marketing campaigns. So many consultancies take a spray and pray approach. What they'll do is they'll work with you, but actually use cookie cutter marketing, and we do quite the opposite. We do very targeted marketing campaigns that help you reach your target more quickly, more accurately, and what that means for you is you spend less money and get better results. Once again, my name's Ken Countess. I'm an internationally recognized marketing expert. I'm based in the Orlando area. And these are some of the companies that I've worked with over my long career. Motorola, Caremark, Marriott, I'm sure you recognize those names. I'm also an equity partner in another marketing firm and worked for a company that's now owned by Honeywell Corporation. Here are some of the clients that we've served in our 18 years as the Countess Group. They include some names that clearly you would recognize, some logos you recognize, but also hundreds of small to medium-sized businesses and nonprofits, probably just like yours, just like mine too. And we're here to help you, here to assist you. Here's my contact information. I encourage you to reach out to us, whether it's by phone, email, on the web. Check us out on social media as well. You see 7 of the channels that we are very active on. I truly encourage you to follow us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/thecountessgroup. When you connect with us there, you'll join over 6,000 people that are following the Countess Group on Facebook. And I hope you're also using LinkedIn. There you can find me at linkedin.com/in/my name, Ken Countess. During the course of this webinar, be sure to participate in the polls below where you see this presentation. We're pointing at them with the arrow. And there are also a couple of special offers that I will reveal later in the event today. But let's get started. This is content marketing, what to say and how to say it, and using words and images to craft your email messages. You know, when we think about marketing, at its core, marketing really is about getting results. In today's world, it's very different. Marketing has become very, very specialized. But I want to give you a simple definition or a framework for what marketing really is today. And you know generally what it is, but when I say the word marketing, I mean something very specific, and it's important that we're on the same page. My definition of marketing has 3 simple parts. You define an audience. That's a group of people you want to target. You reach out to them with a message that is specific to that audience, and you elicit a physical, measurable response. Those are the results you want and need your business to get. The great thing about marketing today is everything is measurable. And by the way, whatever marketing you're doing, if you can't measure it, don't do it. So what kind of results are we talking about? Well, there are 4 types of physical, measurable responses. And all of these represent an action, a decision by a person to do something in response to something you put out there. It's not a mechanical response, it's a human response, and it must be measurable. And keep in mind that your overall goals come back to why you're in business or what's going to keep you in business. And generally that's generating revenue or donations. And if the responses you're getting don't lead in some way directly to the bottom line, then you should evaluate why you're driving those types of responses. Today, I'm going to talk about the content you can share, whether it's written or images, because they drive the responses you need to help your business or your organization. So why is your email content so important? Well, content is the currency on the internet. And by the way, it works offline too. And when it comes to content, you have an advantage over big businesses and other organizations because you can use the tools and tips I'll talk about today to have a real conversation with your customers, your clients, your members, or if you're a nonprofit, volunteers. And you can also use their feedback and questions to come up with new content. Content is what people search for, consume, and share. It's what they pay attention to. And through the content you email to your audience, you can become a source that your customers, clients, members, and so on know, like, and trust. And as I go through this short time together, think about the conversations that you have with your clients or customers. What kinds of questions do they ask you? And how can you use those questions and conversations to create a great email? And now let's tackle the big question. What kind of content should you use in your email? Well, email content basically boils down to a picture, a paragraph, and a call to action. Email content is made up of words, images, and videos you use in your campaigns that's designed to attract, convert, and retain an audience. And when you're sending out an email to the people on your list, you want to make sure it's relevant and interesting and includes a clear call to action, meaning the response you're seeking to solicit from your readers, whether that's buying a product, taking your advice, signing up for services, referring you to friends, or so on. Whatever action you're hoping to take is something that they can do easily. You need to make your call to action easily accessible by including links to whatever you want your audience to do. And remember, when you're thinking of content that you'll create from scratch, you're not writing for yourself. You're writing for your audience. So make your messages relevant, short, and clear. Your email shouldn't be telling recipients every single thing that you do, and it shouldn't include extraneous information. You can make it relevant to your audience by thinking about the conversations you've had with your clients, customers, and members. Maybe after an interaction, you may want to jot some ideas down that can help you expand on a topic. I've mentioned relevance a couple of times now, and here's why it's important that you include content that's for your audience and not for you. Did you know that 38% of email recipients unsubscribe if they think the content is irrelevant to them? And when they unsubscribe, you won't be able to communicate with them again. And 32% of people will send irrelevant content to their spam folder. That's just as bad, if not worse, because that can impact how email providers like Yahoo and Gmail treat your emails. So here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about creating content, how you come up with ideas. I'll talk about curating content, how to find and share content from other sources that you can use in your marketing. And I'll talk about extending your reach beyond your email by using social media. And then I'll talk about how you can get started developing content ideas for your own organization. But first, let's talk about content that you create. What do you write about in your emails? This is one of the biggest questions and the biggest hurdles that people encounter when they set out to create an email. And the good news is, you know your organization better than anyone. And there's a world of ideas out there for you. First and above all else, you write about what you know that they don't know. And this is an opportunity to share your knowledge and raise your profile as an interesting organization and an expert in your field. And here are some ideas of the types of content you can share from your audience. There's quite a few of them out there. All of this gives you a great head start in creating content that your readers will love. So let me talk about a couple of ideas right now. Offerings. For example, if you have a new product, you can write a paragraph describing what it means and use photos or video to share a quick product demonstration or tutorial. How about updates? Maybe you have a new location. Maybe you have new education that you can provide to your readers. Maybe you've got entertaining information, things that you could share. Share your fun side. Don't be afraid. If you've seen a funny YouTube video that relates to your field, go ahead and share it. There's a great opportunity here to cultivate a relationship with people that are following you and that you want to have follow you more. Now, let's talk about how much content you should include in your email. Think about it. How often do you look forward to reading a long, detailed email from a business? Not very often, right? Well, you're looking for something concise and easy to read. And guess what? That's what your audience is looking for too. Short and sweet. When it comes to building email content, less is more. Always. There is no rule that says your newsletter has to have 3 articles, 3 pictures, and 3 links. One thing may be plenty. And when it comes to the amount of text you need to include, 20 lines of text or less is all you need. And keep the content to 3 pictures or less as well. Research shows that 1 link in your email gets the best click-through rate. You want your audience to take an action, so use a link to make that clear. 2 links are okay, but once you get to 3 links, the click-through rate really starts to decline quickly. And when you think about the fact that more than half of all emails today are read on a mobile device, that should prompt you to keep it truly short and sweet. Keep your call to action above the fold, meaning readers don't have to scroll down to get to your most important content, which should be the button you want them to click on. And even if the idea of creating content still feels daunting, remember that keeping your messages short and focused is actually much better than putting tons of information all into one email. You can use outlines to help you further focus your ideas and organize sections of your email. Any text you write yourself, any photos or videos you want to use, content from outside sources you want to share. I'll talk about content curation in a few minutes. Jot down a list of topics that come up in conversations with your customers, your members, your clients, and so on, and use those as ways to spark ideas for email campaigns. Show your expertise in your field. Be the expert. Be a knowledgeable resource for your audience, and they will look forward to emails from you. So this is how you do it. These are how the pros do it, and they're really easy to do with professional-looking email tools like Constant Contact and others. Now, I won't get into email design today, but you can visit the Countess Group website for great design tips and tricks to make your emails really look visually fantastic. Now, let me talk for a minute about turning interactions with your customers and supporters into content for your email. Think for a second about the last interaction you had with someone at your organizations. Maybe what questions did customers have? What information are people looking for from your nonprofit? Maybe you can turn an answer to their questions into an email. Here are a couple of really great examples. I'll give you a moment just to read through them. By the way, if you have any questions along the way, do feel free to go ahead and put them in the chat box. And don't forget, down below the content that you're looking at, there is a poll. Click the polls tab and go ahead and answer those questions. And in a few moments, we'll reveal a couple of special offers for those who attended the webinar today. And if you're watching on a replay, you can reach out to us as well, and we'd be happy to share the information with you. I want to show you the difference between a regular email from your own Outlook, Gmail, or Yahoo account and one sent through an email service provider like Constant Contact or MailChimp or Robly or HubSpot or the others. An email from a service provider looks better and gets you noticed. You can use it to feature your brand's logo and colors and include graphics that capture your reader's attention. All of this, including the graphics, comprises email content. With a combination of text and great images, you will get through to your audience. And from a purely legal and practical perspective, an email service provider will help protect your messages from being considered spam. Now check out the email on the right. The colors and graphics make the message eye-catching and more professional looking than the one on the left, which actually has the same content. Which would you rather read, the one on the left or the one on the right? As a matter of fact, and this might be a relief for those of us who suffer from writer's block, great content doesn't have to be written at all. Visual content like photos and videos and graphics, word images, they make a huge impact in an email inbox. Did you know that 90% of information processed by the brain is visual content? And more than half of consumers believe that images are a very important factor when buying. Visuals are important to your business because they influence customers' purchasing decisions. 2/3 of consumers believe that images are a very important factor when selecting and purchasing a product. And you may have heard that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Of course, we've all heard that. And in your email, you can communicate through images as well as text. Turn your images into clickable links so that when your readers click on those images, they will be directed to the action you want them to take. Just make sure you also include a text link to the same location, because about 2/3 of email readers don't see images by default. And when you're using images in your marketing, you're faced with the task of creating that content, deciding which images are best, and determining their context and the story around them. And that's a lot to think about. And you're probably wondering, where do I begin? Well, here's some direction. Images can be created around your business, your environment and what's around you, your expertise, themes that you decide your audience will love. You don't have to have a product to sell to include visual content in your emails. If you have a new employee, feature their photo with a caption explaining who they are and what they'll bring to your business. If you're a nonprofit, share photos of a recent event or a graphic showing the progress of a fundraising campaign. Photos are a frequent and necessary piece of visual content. Sometimes you may find you need a photo that you don't have or can't create on your own. There are quite a few online stock photo sites where you can search for just the right photo that fits your needs. They're a great resource and can really work well for visual content that's based around a theme, a tip, a fact, or a quote. I've listed a few of them over on the right-hand side of the screen. Make sure when you download a photo that it's the right size or maybe just a little bit larger. You can always crop it or scale it down. But if you try to make it bigger, you may cause it to look grainy, and that'll give a poor impression of you and your business. And be sure that you abide by the copyrights. Photos that you find online are owned by somebody, and some are royalty-free, but others are not. Contact me directly if you'd like to know a little bit more about how to proceed. Video is a powerful way to engage with your audience. People prefer watching a video to reading long web pages full of text. When you're using video in your email, make sure you mention in your subject line that your email includes a video so readers know about it right away. Consumers prefer watching a video way more than reading long text articles. In fact, half of people are more likely to read emails that include a video. Make sure the length of your video is under 90 seconds. That's the point at which more than half of viewers will stop watching. And you can make video work for your business. Use it to showcase product demos, testimonials, promotions, and so on. Now, let me talk for a moment about content curation. Finding and distributing content that's relevant, educational, entertaining, and newsworthy. Now, at this point, you might be feeling like you're drinking from a fire hose, maybe a little overwhelmed, thinking you have to think up infinite ideas to create content from scratch. But that's not the case at all. We know you don't have time to spare in the operation of your business. The great news is that you can curate content, meaning that you can find content created by others and share it with your email contacts. Think about a curator in an art museum. That person uses their expertise to collect and present artwork from many different sources and arrange them in a way that's educational and organized. Well, think about your emails the same way. And when you do, your audience will come to rely on you as an expert in your field. There are lots of different places online where you can find content to share through your emails. Check the news. Read other people's blogs. Follow social media. There's a wealth of information out there on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and the rest. Set up Google Alerts. Google will aggregate pages that mention a phrase that you've created an alert for and send you an email to let you know that there's some content that may be worth your read. Subscribe to other people's email lists. It's a great way to get ideas for content and see what other people are sharing, but always give credit to the source or the original author. Never plagiarize. One way to get creative and get great content is to easily share via email on social media. Have others create it and send it for you. You can do this through sharing behind-the-scenes videos or photos, like this one from the Fifth Avenue Gallery, showing one of its employees loading a painting to be exported. You can also use client or customer testimonials and more. Now I'm going to talk about how you can extend your reach beyond your email audience. Once you've decided what content you're going to use in your communications, now it's time to share it. And this way, you can extend your reach as much as possible. Using email is one way to share content, but you can also share it through social media. Email marketing tools like Constant Contact, HubSpot, MailChimp, Fusionsoft, and so on make it easy for you to share your content on different social platforms, and also for your audience to share your content across their social platforms. And when you're thinking of content to use on social media, you really don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can use the content you've already sent in your email and break it into smaller pieces of social media content. And don't worry, this isn't going to translate into a lot of extra work for you. You're already building out your content for the future as you focus on your emails. The tip on sending invitations in advance could be expanded to a Facebook post about when to send your event invitations. Hanging flyers in your store could be turned into a great infographic on effective flyer design that you share across social networks. Advice to post events on Facebook could expand to a blog post on promoting events on Facebook, which you can then share across your social networks. Or maybe a special pricing tip for VIPs could be repurposed into 5 tweets spread across a week about the things that VIPs want. Here's an example of a company, the Grafton Inn in Vermont, repurposing content. They use this image of a porch swing in their email, which announced summer activities at the inn. They repurposed the photo on Facebook to show their weekly schedule, and on Instagram, they shared it with their followers with a really cute caption. You can do the same thing. Take a tip, a quote, an image, or anything that your audience will find interesting and use it on networks where you can be seen and heard. And when it comes to extending your reach, you want to make sure that you're meeting your audience where they are. Email is a great place to start, but you can reach more people by sharing your email content on all of your social media platforms. Think about it this way. There's probably some overlap between your email contact list and your followers on social media, but those groups are not likely to be identical. Also, what your followers do on social media, their followers see. So if someone likes or comments on your post on Facebook, all of their friends will see that and they see your name. So marketing on social media tends to be less expensive than traditional advertising. And if cost is an issue, then you'll get more return on your time and money and energy by first going through email and subsequently through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and so on. Each has its own typical audience and decision process. Take advantage of them. And the best part of this is, especially if you're a Constant Contact customer, sharing your emails on social media is really easy. There's something called a social share bar that you can add to your emails. And you can add social media buttons so that people can like your business on the social channels. Remind your audience to share your promotions. Ask them to like them on Facebook, retweet them on Twitter, pin them on Pinterest, and so on. You can extend the reach of your emails very easily with many of the email marketing platforms. Constant Contacts is called the Social Share Tool. It gives you a quick and easy way to share emails on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and gives you suggestions on exactly what to say. So let's talk for a moment about the next steps that you can take. Remember, when you're thinking of content that you create from scratch, you're not writing for you, you're writing for your audience. So use links to direct your audience where you want them to go, and make your messages relevant, short, and focused, with the call to action being very, very clear. In the beginning of this event, I said that email content boils down to a picture, a paragraph, and a call to action. And you can use this as a really basic outline to create content for just about anything you could think of. Take the last question you answered for a customer, a client, or volunteer, and develop an email around it using a picture, a paragraph, and a call to action. Take this Hawaii vacation, for example. Remember, 90% of information absorbed by the brain is visual. So why not illustrate the subject to catch your reader's attention? And what is it that you need to write? Well, respond to a question that you were asked. A paragraph can be just a few words introducing a link, a longer explanation maybe about the subject, or tips to answer the question in just a few steps. And finally, if you need a call to action, what do you want your audience to do in reaction to your email? Maybe come to your business for a consultation, buy a product, register for an event, or donate. I'm going to give you access to the offers that I'm making available to people attending this event today. If you look down below the presentation, down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see something that says today's attendee offers. If you click any or all of the 4 buttons below, you'll see offers that are calls to action from this event. We've got quite a ways to go yet in this webinar, but I wanted to point these out for you now so that you'll see what you have access to during the course of this event. You can schedule a 15-minute free marketing consultation. You can schedule up to an hour of one-on-one coaching. You can click the button to get more information about our services. That button will take you to our website where you can fill out a short form and tell us what you need some guidance on. Or, you can click to attend our next LinkedIn webinar on August 2nd. And if you use the promo code, you'll save $50 off that event. The point is, you really can do all of this. There are tools out there that really make it easy. So I'm going to give you some simple ways to help you use less time, money, and energy running your marketing. But let me mention to you that email marketing, the granddaddy of all social media, has a return on investment of 44 to 1. What that means is that for every dollar you spend running an email marketing campaign, you can expect $44 back. Spend $100, that's $4,400 back. Here's something about one of our clients who was using Google AdWords, and they weren't getting much of a return on their money. They're in the promotional specialties arena. And from 2010 to 2013, their annual sales were flat at about $50,000 a year. They came to one of these seminars that you're attending today. And in May of 2013, they started using Constant Contact. Within 3 years, they grew to over $1 million in sales a year. They stopped using AdWords. They're only using email marketing. If you do it right, you can have great results. For this particular client, the return on investment that email marketing delivers is over 500 to 1. They spend $150 a month on their subscription, and they generate $1 million in sales annually. Pretty amazing. So what can we help you accomplish? We can help you gain an unfair advantage over your competitors. With targeted marketing campaigns, we'll show you what to do, we'll show you how to do it, or you can do it yourself. It's entirely up to you. So what's next? Well, you can contact me to get a free 15-minute consultation, learn about our coaching packages and seminars for your clients and your members. We're happy to help you out. Go to that URL. It's also the top button on the offers page of this webinar. It's bit.ly/meet-with-Ken. Learn more about our upcoming events. That's at bit.ly/TCG for the Countess Group -events. And that's the screenshot of the page on our website that you'll see. We have other offers that are available to you as well. Just email me and I'd be happy to share them with you. We help businesses gain an unfair advantage over their competition with targeted marketing campaigns that really do work. My name is Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help you gain an unfair advantage over your competition. Here's my contact information. please reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you with any questions you may have. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great day, and I look forward to having you attend one of our upcoming events. Bye for now.